Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today we're setting up my Hobonichi cousin for February together. We have a beautiful blue Year of the Snake theme, and at the end of the video I'm also gonna flip through all my January pages and share some of my experiences using this journal so far. But let's start by going through the decorations I'll use for February. The main things I want to use and build the other decorations around are these Ikigai Papir stickers and washi tapes that came in Hedda's 2024 Advent Calendar. I opened the Advent Calendar every day in my Instagram stories in December, so if you follow me there, you may have seen some of these products. And I've just been so excited to use these. Also, she released these separately in her shop, so I believe you can still get them. The link to her shop and everything else I'm using in this video are listed in the description below, and you can also find everything from there that I might forget to mention. I will combine these with other stuff that matches the color story. I have some products from my own shop winter collection and some random stuff like old washi tapes that I found from my collection. But without further introductions, let's start with this February cover page, which is the extra page this journal gives in front of the daily pages. We're doing a scrapbook layered decoration page here, and I really wanted to use this holographic snake sticker. I think it's gorgeous and I wanted it to have a moment here. I'm also using this grayish blue winter sweater pattern paper in the background. This is from my own winter collection, and I think it just went perfectly with the colors of these stickers. I also wanted to use this bigger girl sticker on this page and added some of these lily stickers and persimmons later that give a slight pop of orange as well. The main colors in this theme will be these blue tones with this bright pop of orange. So later I'll also show you a few brush pen colors that I plan to use and my new blue ink that I think will match perfectly with this theme. I wasn't really a fan of the month number and title here at the top, so we're gonna cover that up, and instead I wrote the February title on a separate piece of paper. I went through my whole printed colored paper folder and found this random small blue piece that perfectly matched the stickers. I also wanted to add this tag or label here in the center. I believe this is from one of the notebook therapy collections, and I think this light neutral color breaks the blue a little bit. I wish this label was a little bit bigger, but this was the best I could find, so we're gonna go with it. It always takes me a while to finalize these pages because I definitely get indecisive and paralyzed with all the options. I'm also really trying not to go overboard and layer too many things on these cover pages because I'm slightly worried that my Hobonichi will end up too thick by the end of the year. So far, I haven't had any problems with it, but we are still early in the year. So I finished this page by writing Year of the Snake with these alphabet stickers that also came with this set. I love how everything is color coded and it's the perfect set to build a complete monthly theme. But anyway, I think that's all we're gonna do here on this page, and now let's flip over to my notes section where I have my color swatches and so on. I want to show you a few of the brush pen colors I've lined up and plan to use this month. As you can probably imagine, they are my blue shades and these two pop of orange yellows that I think will serve as nice accent colors. I think some neutral colors like grays or or even a muted green would go really nicely with this theme. And then the fountain pen ink I want to use this month is my new Sailor Shikiori ink in the color Zaza. When I first saw this ink, I thought it was the perfect mid blue with a slight grayish muted undertone, and I think it's a pretty spot on match with the decorations. Then next, before we move to the monthly calendar, I want to quickly film my theme overview page. So in the last video, I shared how I kind of want to use the timetable page to make a small collage of each of my monthly themes so that at the end of the year, we can see a list of all the themes together. I tried to find the tiniest snake and flower stickers that fit this very narrow space and added some of the monthly colors here as well. After adding everything here, I actually ripped out the paper pattern and used the grid washi tape also on the left side because I don't know, I feel like there was a little bit too many colors going on this small space. I also wrote the year of the snake again since I wrote academia for January. And while we are here at the back of my journal, I also want to show you this one page that I finally found use for. So this is the My 100 list page that I didn't know what to use for because I couldn't come up with anything I would need 100 things for. So what I decided to do instead was to kind of divide this list into a few things I want to track. Currently, I have my finished knits and the movies and series I've started to watch. I have 20 spaces for all of these because I don't watch that many movies or series, so I think it should be enough for me. Then I was thinking of using the rest of this space to list a few songs that I've listened to each month. I would list the books I read, but I do have a whole separate reading journal for that, so I thought it might be a little bit redundant. So yeah, nothing special, but I just wanted to share this with you. But now let's flip to the beginning of the journal and set up the monthly calendar. I found a lot of use for this last month and I kind of separated it from everything else in this journal. So I'm not going to use these calendar pages to mark any dates or appointments. I'm only going to use it as my work and social media posting calendar. I don't know if you can see it from the video, but I have written some things here on a pencil. So this way I've been able to plan ahead without disturbing any of the upcoming colors or decorations. So I've already scheduled my shop release dates and some small holidays I need to make time for, and I have found this to be a really good system. But anyway, we are again starting with some decorations here, and first I used these TWSBI monthly kits for the weekday covers. I don't know if it's sacrilegious that I mixed the colors here from two kits. I just thought that this darker blue Thursday sticker matched better with the other decorations. And then we are following with the same paper patterns and Ikigai Papir products. To be honest, after having a very brown and neutral heavy theme for the whole January, it's so nice to see a little bit of color. I also like that this theme is wintry to some extent, but not too much because I'm already looking forward to spring. I've been designing my own spring products and I'm just ready for some flowers and color in my journal. So I focused most of the decorations on the top and bottom corners and then added this February title sticker. I also wanted to show you these label stickers I've been making that I will add to my shop with the spring release around mid-March. I think I mentioned in my last video that I use a lot of these labels, so I wanted to have very basic ones in every possible color. So that's what I did, and I used one here on this side for my important things header. These labels match perfectly with the Hobonichi cousin width, and I'm gonna make a second size from all of these that matches the Hobonichi Weeks journal as well. But anyway, I still use the TWSBI kits for the labels as well because I really like these cute designs. So I've been using these labels to mark all of my YouTube videos, and I also write when I need to start filming for each video on this calendar page. I also needed to postpone my spring product design deadline because I'm an idiot and didn't notice that the Chinese New Year is around 2 weeks earlier this year. So I didn't know that, and because of that, the manufacturer I order my products from is taking their New Year break earlier than I thought. So I will send the designs once the holiday is over, and I'm kind of relieved to get some extra time with them, to be honest. I think it still should be enough time for me for a mid-March release. And then the last thing I will add here are these color dots that I use to track my journal Instagram, shop Instagram, and YouTube posting stuff. I'm trying to have a weekly posting routine that will help me to be more organized about that. And whenever I have posted or scheduled a post, I'll add a small check marks in these color dots. But I think that's pretty much all for the monthly calendar, and after reading your comments and thinking about the weekly section in my previous video, I decided to not include the weekly pages in these videos because since we are not on the first week of the February yet, there's not much I can write down there beforehand. So instead, I decided that we can always flip through the previous month's pages in these monthly planning videos, and then I'll film a separate, very relaxed weekly planning video at some point of the month where we can focus on the weekly and daily pages. I didn't have time to film one this month though because I already had the reading journal videos and a lot of designing to do, but I will post one next month. So anyway, let's do the January flip through now, and I actually recorded this part earlier while I was filming this setup. Hi everyone, so I decided to record this part real time because it makes more sense to flip through these pages and talk at the same time so that I don't need to try to match flipping and then later talking in the video. Also, if you hear some noises, it's because my cat Luna has also decided to join us. Hi baby, you want to also be in the video? Okay. Anyway, so here we have the January monthly page, and I'm not going to talk about this too much because I feel like I already talked about how I've been using the monthly page while setting up this one. But yeah, so here you can see how I've been using the color coding system to list my Instagram and YouTube posting stuff. In January, I also listed my paydays, but I decided to remove this because, I don't know, I think it was not necessary on these pages. Also, in January, I had this very brown heavy academia theme. I used a lot of my own new shop products, and you can see how even though there is a theme, I tried to change up the decorations throughout the month. So let's flip to the weekly section, and this is the first week I set up in my Hobonichi, so this was still mostly my holiday week, which is why I used this one more to track memories than doing very strict task lists or anything like that. I've used the left column to list a few important things I need to do during the week. Then I have my sleep tracker that I've used on all of the weekly pages. And here at the bottom, I sometimes included this currently section where I list what I'm currently knitting and reading. This doesn't change every week, so I didn't think it's necessary every time. And then when it comes to the pages, I've been really enjoying using my TWSBI emoti stickers, and then I've sprinkled in some other decoration stickers. I've also been playing around with these different fonts using my brush pens. I'm not very good at it, but I'm trying to practice. And I've also been using the tiny icons for my work related stuff. So yeah, I don't know if I have anything to say on this page. Oh yeah, here, if you see this smudge, this is what happens if you try to go over a fountain pen ink with a brush pen. So it didn't work. You can do it the other way around by first making a color stripe and writing on top of it with a fountain pen. But if you do it the other way around, this will happen. But yeah, let's flip over. So I was testing out different things on these weekly pages because I'm still not sure how I want to use them. So on this page, I tried writing these work titles and using a heavier color block here, and to be honest, I didn't really like this. It's probably my least favorite weekly spread. I don't know, I just felt like writing the work title was kind of unnecessary. This week I reopened my shop, so I was just packing a lot of orders. Very busy week. And then on Saturday I had actually already written some work related stuff here, but then my friends invited me on a girls' night, so I just covered it up with some stickers and labels and moved some of the work on Sunday. Then let's move on. So as you can see, I've been trying to switch up the decorations and colors slightly while still matching the overall theme. So yeah, I don't think there's anything much to say here. This is the current week, and then this is the last week of the month, and this is where February starts. And I decided to try out switching the decorations for this section. To be honest, I don't know how I'm gonna decorate this page or if you can even see any difference, but I don't know, I thought it would be a fun idea to try out. I have also been marking our lunch and dinner times, which gives a nice divider for me. So I usually like to do different types of tasks in the morning, in the afternoon, and then at night. So this just gives some visual structure for me. Something I was a little bit surprised by is that I actually was struggling to use the weekly pages a little bit. So what I've been using and enjoying more are actually the daily pages. So you can see there's a lot going on. I've been journaling almost every single day in January, and I've just been loving it. So how I'm doing this in my everyday life is that I usually sit down a few times a week, usually on a Monday and then maybe Wednesday or Thursday, where I kind of do an overall weekly plan on the weekly pages, where I usually plan a few days at a time. So I feel like when you do that, some things might switch a little bit. Maybe you don't get everything done on a certain day and things need to be moved ahead. So what I've actually been doing on the daily pages is writing a separate task list, and I'm trying to find a day. Okay, so here we have a huge task list. So for me, this list is a much more up-to-date one. It's one that I write every single morning, the first thing when I sit down with my journal. And I also write a much more detailed list of what I need to get done compared to the very overall list of things on the weekly pages. And I don't know, I feel like it's been working very well for my brain to see every single thing listed here, and then I can just cross things off. So for example, on this day, I have so many things here because I was restocking some of my own shop products, and I basically just wrote every single item I need to stock, and then when I got them done, I just crossed them off the list. But let's go back to the first page and flip through things a little bit slower. So this was my January cover page, and then here's the first day of the year where I just wrote Happy New Year and some general memories. I've also been using my journaling prompts that I have here at the back of my journal. So this is a list of 120 prompts that I actually wrote myself, and you can also download these sheets and print them out for yourself if you want to. The link is in the video description. And I have 120 here because I don't use these every day, but I think it's a very nice thing to have for the days when you don't really have much to write about, or you just wanna, write about something else than your basic daily stuff. I've also been gluing a few things like this. So this is a traditional Japanese custom where you buy this kind of very gorgeous bento box during the New Year's. We always get this from my husband's parents, and I just glued in the picture sheet that came with the kit. And then I've been using these bigger titles, again, with brush pens that just, take a little bit more space. And I feel like when I flip through these pages, the big titles are ones that I notice first. So if there's anything worth mentioning, I like to use these bigger fonts for it. Other than that, I've just been using some simple washi tapes and stickers. I'm trying to switch things up and do some kind of color coding on these pages. Nothing special. This doesn't actually take me that much time in real life. Oh yeah, and then I have a few sections like this, which I have kind of covered up with a separate paper. So this prompt is, how would I like to grow or develop as a person this year? And the answer was a little bit personal, so not necessarily something I want to share for everyone on the internet. So that's why I just put this little piece of paper on top, so I don't need to worry about stuff like that when I flip through this journal. Also, for those who noticed and are wondering, I am using 2 different languages on these pages. So for those of you who didn't know, I am actually from Finland, but I live in Japan and my husband is Japanese. So we speak Japanese and English, but Finnish is still my native language. I also use English whenever I do my task lists or whenever it's something about my shop or my work in general, because I don't know, everything about what I do is in English and my brain just is on English mode when I think about my work. But then when it comes to writing about my everyday stuff, I've actually felt like it's been a pretty nice way to be able to use my native language, because I am slightly worried that I will forget my native language after living here for many years. But anyway, also there are some smudges, so as much as I would like every single spread to be perfect, these are from my cat walking over my journal after playing in her water bowl. So that is where these came from, and I've tried to learn to not to leave my journal open anywhere. I have also been doing some very easy sketches. So for example, here was the girls' night. And then let's see if there's another spread. Oh yeah, here we ordered sushi for dinner. So I doodled these little sushi images using the same brush pens that I'm using on these pages so that the doodles kind of match everything else. I really like how this doodle especially came out, and it's again a nice way to take up some space and maybe draw attention to certain memory. I don't know if I have that much to say. Well, maybe this spread was a weekend, and I remember this Saturday was one of the only days when I actually didn't write anything in my journal. So all of this I wrote afterwards on Sunday, and that's why I also wanted to use this big box to take a lot of space. So on this day I finished my zipper sweater knit, and I wrote some information about it here. And on a weekend I also felt like I didn't need my regular task list, so I just left it out and used this space to write a little bit more about my day. These stickers are from Charizze's shop, and I think they match the academia vibes very well. I've also been playing around with different fonts here because I don't really know what font I want to go for. I've been using my Tombow Fudenosuke, and it's a pen that I haven't used much for writing, so it has definitely been a learning curve, and I'm trying to learn these more doodly fonts that are fun to use in the journal. Okay, so here we are on the current day. I think I'll still write something here. But yeah, I've just really been enjoying using the pages. As you can probably see, they are very full. And I know I'm of course still in the honeymoon phase with this journal. So I don't know if I can keep up this level of commitment in the upcoming months, but I will do my best without adding too much pressure to it at the same time. But yeah, I think that's all for this part of the video. And now let's jump back to the future me in the voiceover to do the video outro. So I think that's it for my February Plan With Me video. I really hope you enjoyed watching and maybe even found some inspiration. Let me know if there's something else you'd like to see in these videos, and if this was your first time around here and you'd like to stay tuned for more journaling and art in the future, please consider subscribing. But I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye!